Hello, my name is Rob Kollewijn. I'm a physical therapist and I'm here to explain to you what is physical therapy. So the definition of physical therapy is a natural science in the field of medicine with the purpose of restoring optimum bodily function. Okay, now what's that mean? So there's a couple of hard words here. You know, what's natural? Natural is what you find in nature. So we only apply things that we can find in nature. We don't add chemicals, we don't add drugs, just natural things. And that's how we apply and resolve and use all these applications to resolve your bodily and physical function. Okay? Now it's a science. Now what's a science? Science is an organized body of knowledge. Okay? And it's proceeds of certain axioms. Now axioms are self-evident, truth and agreement. Further, you will be able to predict knowledge with the science. So if you look, you can find when, where, and how you look. You're going to find that you get more knowledge. Then you know you're dealing with a science. And then the key major thing of any science is it has to be invariable. So there are no variations, otherwise you have too many loose ends. So it has to be very predictable, very organized, and then you get results. Okay, that's a science. Alright, now I'm going to prove that to you. That I've actually developed a philosophy that guides you through a sequence of steps, which is called the scale of function. And it basically tells you the invariability of these steps the body has to go through to recover its function, or how a body actually dwindles down in function. And then on top of it, it will also explain you how you can enhance the body to even new heights you haven't been before. Alright? So let's look at this goal of physical therapy, which wants to restore optimum function. So that is our main point where we're gonna go from, and a stable datum that is gonna say, okay, great, we have optimum function, which would be on top here on the scale of function. As you can see, there's a bar chart behind me that's gonna explain some of these steps. Okay, so if we look at optimum function, it varies for different people. Some people want to be able to run, some people just want to be able to reach up in a cupboard, some people just want to walk to the bathroom or to the end of their driveway. So function varies on different, optimal function varies for different desires and ambition of people. So if you take function as your key evaluation point and you examine, so what happens if functions reduces? Well, you're going to see that this is a scale and a chart which basically has on the top the optimum function, and if you're on the bottom of the scale, you will notice that you will have no function. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take you through these steps and how a body functions. So what I've taken a body and I've taken it apart and said, what functions does a body have? Okay? That makes up the optimum function. Not compared to other bodies, just like what's the optimum function, and the one does an optimum function breaks down. So you can see there are different colors here, and these are just three basic phases, actually four, to make it even more enhancement for the body. However, the bottom phase deals with structure. Okay, if you don't have the joint mobility, or what we call range of motion, you will not be able to optimum function. I think everybody knows that. If you can't move your arm, then you can't lift certain things. Okay, and that could be related to the structure of the joint. Okay, now the second phase is more a coordination phase, and it's split up in flexibility, posture, and neuromuscular balance. Now, what does that mean? Flexibility basically means the ability to tense by contraction. So do you have enough muscle firmness and tone in the muscle to bend your arm? Or is the muscle tone too high so you cannot bend your arm on the opposite side. Posture, I think that speaks for itself. You know, people want to stand up straight and go through life, you know, in a way they can do things, you know. People can get through life bending over and forward and slouched, but obviously, you know, it's going to impede some functions. And then neuromuscular balance is kind of a hard word because it has to do with nerves, muscles, and the balance between them, which creates stability. Now, all these things have to follow in sequence and work together to get proper coordination to move the bones. Okay? However, that still doesn't make a body function optimum, because then you need what we call the conditioning phase. You need endurance strength, and more strength means power, or faster strength means agility and timing. So if you add this structural phase with the coordination phase, with the conditioning phase, you're actually going to start approaching more and more optimum function. Now, these are some of the steps you have to go through. And as you can see, this is kind of a ladder or a staircase that people can walk up. And we have found that if you skip one of these steps and you go treat, or for instance on strengthening, well, you don't have the range of motion, you're going to actually go down and make the range of motion worse, and you get more pain. As you can see, there's a pain border. This is the line that I've discussed earlier in another video when I talk about pain. These functions are the factors that address when they work together, aligned, or they won't work together. So below this line, people have some form of discomfort or pain. Above this line, they don't. That just doesn't mean that they're in optimum, okay? And then we have, of course, phase 4, which is high performance, which is can I put all these functions together at a new range and a new level to get the desired function that the people want. So how does the body break down? Very simple. You lose strength, you lose the endurance. If you're exhausted, you have a hard time holding your balance. You know, so you're looking for support to hold up your posture. If you kind of need support to hold up your posture, then you get certain muscles strong and so other muscles weak and lose the firmness and the tone. At a certain point, you need your range of motion to be limited to help you stay upright, and further it goes down, and eventually you don't move anymore. Okay, that's how a body dwindles down. How you get up? How do you rehab a body, which is basically restoring a previous condition? Well, you find where you're at, and then one step at a time you address that, and you make your function. And I tell you, that is the nicest part of this scale. It is an illustration for people, and it gives them a workable path, because it works if you apply it correctly. I have too many successes, stories from people to say, wow, you know, this really has helped me. So I hope that was a brief enough description of what's physical therapy, which is a pathway, you know, follows a science of invariability, okay, that works if you follow it. You have to walk it though, all right? So thank you for your attention.